This is Andre from Teamwayfinder, and today we're interviewing Adam Gibbs, the voice of Ryo from Toa no Kwan, Shinjiro from Ungo, and from the sci-fi CGI movie Space Captain Harlock,
Logan.
So Adam, it's an honor to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. It's absolutely my pleasure.
Alright, first question. How did you get into voice acting?
Well, I've been an actor since I was a kid, mostly on stage. And, I moved down to Houston after school and was getting, some good work there. And I just had a lot of friends that were working in and out of the voice studio out of Houston. And, an opportunity came up. They had a show that they were working with, they needed a lot of guys. And, I kept hearing from multiple friends, hey, they're going to call you, they're going to call you, they're going to call you. And finally, got a call, went in, and, went well enough. And I guess the rest is history, as they say.
Alright, how was it like doing the recording for Space Captain Harlock, since it's different from your typical anime, since it's all completely in CGI, and from what I can tell, the lip flaps seem like it could be a big pain, so how was it like recording for that character?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more challenging when it is like the fully animated stuff because it is so intricate and it's not even that the words match up, but even the way that they're said. So the guy, generally, I mean it happens, but generally the person that's in the motion capture isn't the same person that's voicing them. So the way one person may say it, the way their mouth kind of forms it may not be the same way that I do, so it's definitely very challenging. But what's great is, it's a good challenge. It makes you kind of think on your feet, but at the same time you've got a director and a writer that can kind of edit the script to help you, as well as the computer tech that's kind of fitting the audio into the video. So it's really a team effort. But it's a challenge, but it's definitely a blast.
I've heard that you were also a stage actor. Has any of your stage acting experience helped you in your performances as a voice actor?
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, I feel like that's the reason I've been able to take to voice acting so well, is because a lot of the voice projects that I would work on, you don't get a script, you don't get a lot of information going in. So going in, it's what we call a cold reading, where you just, here's the script, start reading. And in an audition setting, in on stage, I mean that's very common to audition that way. So I've done that for years and had a lot of experience just kind of picking something up and reading and just kind of formatting a character and trying to make a character out just right on the spot. So I feel like that translates quite a bit to voice acting, because it is where it's a business where you got to work quick and you got to be sharp and you got to get it right. And you want to get it right the first time. So I definitely feel like working on the stage, it definitely prepared me for the voice acting, for sure.
I've seen that you've done most of your voice acting work with Sentai. Do you plan on expanding your voice talents to other businesses and locations, maybe doing some LA work with Bang Zoom, or maybe some video games, or maybe even providing some of your voice talents to Funimation?
Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. Really, it's just a matter of, I've been in Houston for quite some time and kind of got the ball rolling working with Sentai, which has been a blast. Such a great team over there. Really, it's just, kind of, I guess, the lack of exposure with them yet. Of course, I would love to work with them. It's just a matter of, kind of getting in the door with them and meeting, them knowing me and me knowing them, and just kind of getting some projects together. But absolutely.
So from commercials, like video games, anime, all the different types of media that someone can voice act in, do you have a preferred or more favorite form of media to voice act in?
It's tough to say. I mean, each project is a little different regardless of kind of what type it is. But I love just a good old kind of, leading man character. But I also like kind of the zany and the crazy and, really just kind of fun characters. They're a little more light and, really for me, it's what I enjoy the most is going into a booth, not really knowing a lot about what the character, or or what is going to happen. Um, but what I love is going in and hearing people like, like David Matranga, like Emily Neves, like, those people who are just dear friends of mine, who, although I'm not, although they're not in the booth with me, their voice is. And so it's really comforting, and a lot of fun to get to work with your friends, even though, it's through a headset and through a microphone. But it's, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Do you have a favorite character that you've played before, or a character that you found yourself very relatable to?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I have a blast with all of them. I mean, I'm just, I consider myself very blessed to get to work on these projects. Grave of the Fireflies was really one that was pretty special for me to get to work on, because yes, it's a redub, but that movie has just such a history, and so to get to feel like I'm, a part of that in some way, and kind of the history of that film, really meant a lot. Also, I got to work with Emily again there, so it's always a good time there.
Do you have any funny stories behind the booth?
There are always fun things that go on. I mean, because a lot of it's cold reading. You may not, you're trying to do your best to just kind of just stay on the ball, and work quick, and read quick, and if there's if there's a typo on the screen, it's kind of that Anchorman Ron Burgundy situation where, there's a question mark when there shouldn't be, and you totally say it like it's a question, even though it's obviously, not. But when you're thinking on your feet and just trying to get it out, it's it's a lot of fun. Just, sometimes the way things come out, and the way scripts get edited. Some, the translations obviously are kind of funny, and it's always kind of a work in progress, and you go in knowing that. But sometimes it's just hilarious the way things will be translated and kind of come out.
Do you have any tips for up and coming voice actors who really want to get into the business?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, just familiarize yourself with the anime, and know kind of, if you're fortunate enough to kind of get an audition and go in, just do as much research as you can, because, like I said, you may not have a lot of information on a role or a character, but it's the same kind of genre, so you can go in knowing what to having a little bit better idea as to what to expect. When I go in for auditions, and for, just for recordings, I make sure, I take care of myself. I make sure I'm hydrated, and that's not just the day of, the day before, just keeping your kind of instrument, if you will, kind of keeping it healthy and ready to work. When I go in to record, I make sure that, I've done some vocal warm ups so that my voice is warm, and really not even more so than your voice, but your actual, your mouth, being able to pronounce, enunciate and pronounce words properly, and my eyes too. I know this sounds silly, but um, I don't know, like, I make a point to kind of do some eye exercises to make sure that I can kind of, because you're very frequently flipping back and forth, looking at one screen to another of your actual script, and looking at the actual, video footage, and trying to sync those two up. So it's a lot of, like, looking back and forth and being really quick. So, just the warmer you can be, the more, just prepare yourself kind of physically, um, but also, just kind of staying calm, and staying comfortable and cool, and just knowing that at the end of the day, for an anime, I mean, you're making an animated film that people are going to enjoy, and it's a lot of fun. So if you're not having fun doing it, and you're not enjoying yourself, then, what's the point?
Did you have any inspirations or performances that really helped you key in your own acting style, or in your own performances that you had when trying to become a professional voice actor?
I mean, I can't think of any particular show or role that comes to mind, but really it's just a matter of, I don't know, trying to, like, stay true to who you are, and that you've got guys who can just do 1,000 voices, and I can certainly do some voices, but I don't consider myself like a charactery kind of guy as much. Although although I've had some fun with a lot of roles, it seems like primarily the roles I get are, more true to my voice, and that those are kind of the roles that I fill. So, there's nothing wrong with that, and just doing the best you can with the instrument that you have. So anytime, kind of reverting back to the friends of mine that have done work, to be able to kind of go back, and because I have the pleasure of knowing a lot of voice actors, you know, hearing their voices face to face just in a conversational setting, then comparing that to hearing their voice, dubbed and recorded, and the voices that they can do, and just kind of, you know, seeing the way that they go about it, or moreover hearing the way they go about it. um, it just kind of makes you a more well-informed performer.
All right, well, it was really great having you on the show, Adam. Do you have any final thoughts for our viewers?
Andre, it's just it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks so much for having me on. I just say, if it's something you want to do and you have a love and a passion for it, just go for it. It's there. We talk about staying power. A matter of kind of judging your success, and you've kind of got to judge your own success, and find what that word actually means. But the idea of staying power, of how long you can just kind of put up with the grind of the business, because it's not always a nice, loving, forgiving business. It's great if you can get it, but if it's something you want to do, stick with it, and you got to put the work in, and it is work. But work can be fun too.
All right, so it was really awesome having you on the show, Adam. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, it's my pleasure. Thank you. Have a good one.